and welcome back to another episode of
And on that note,
that was fun.
So,
you're going to say something?
No, I was going to say, it's because we've missed this being in here.
Yeah.
I know, it feels so nice
feels
being
good to
back,
be back.
isn't it?
I wasn't really feeling the remote thing. I'm tired of it now.
Yeah, it was,
to begin with, it was fine.
difficult. Like, you need the, the vibes.
The vibes, yeah.
vibes.
We
Like,
need to bounce off each other.
Yeah.
And
It's good to see each other face to face. isn't
yeah.
it?
And then I can clock your facial
Yeah,
expressions.
yeah, but no, it's really
no one
nice
is
to
lagging,
be
no
back.
one is freezing.
Innit?
No buffering.
We survived COVID.
Yeah, I
We
know, right?
survived.
Or have we?
Ladies.
Jepsies, do you think Jepsies for life?
Well, like, yeah, how are you guys feeling? Do you feel free? Do you feel like, okay, well, it's back to normal now?
I've been feeling free, boy. I don't know about anybody else.
No.
And do you feel like it's normal?
No, I still don't think this is normal.
no. I don't think anything will ever be normal again.
But that's,
Yeah,
that's what
that's
I believe this
saddens
is
me.
our new normal.
Yeah, but that saddens
We're
me,
moving
though.
forward in a different way. So
Yeah.
when people say, when we go back to normal, I'm like, bruv,
We're
no one's
forward
going back to
yeah.
normal.
Normal wasn't
We are
working to
moving
begin
forward
with.
to a new
So,
normal. That's
yeah.
it. Because who would have ever thought that we would have seen? Chinese people have been on it from day, because they've been wearing their mask all the time. And before, when they used to wear the mask, they used to be like, ew.
Yeah,
what
they're
are they
overdoing
doing?
it.
Well, they weren't. There was only those people in Hong Kong, really.
Yeah,
Because I felt like they, as much as they do their mask and stuff, it's not like, well, they still managed to spread somehow. So
Yeah.
they kind of. But then that's why I said it's the Hong Kong people that are all about, because they do it, one, for pollution and two,
Yeah.
for fashion.
True.
You think they do it for fashion?
100.
They've got quite trendy ones.
What?
The mask.
The mask? Oh my lord.
I was saying to Guy as well, I was like, you guys, well, I know you're not on Snapchat, you don't use your Snapchat,
No,
but
just pre-
once upon a time they had like the face mask filters.
Oh yes, I
And
remember.
like,
I
they were
remember
trying
seeing
to drop
people-
it there and let us
Yeah.
know.
Before COVID.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
The
ages
yellow
ago.
teddy bear
Remember
face
the thing
mask.
that was
Yeah,
just
and
like
then when
that.
you smile, it drops
Yeah,
down.
yeah,
and
yeah,
then-
yeah.
I remember seeing that. Okay, I didn't realise that was
I was like, they
Snapchat.
were doing subtle hints, but we just weren't clued up back then.
Oh, that's true. That's a good way. Of
Do you
looking
still
at
think
it.
it's a conspiracy theory?
Not anymore.
I'm over it. I don't know. Do you know
Yeah,
what?
it's like
Whatever it
it's
is
happening.
If it's conspiracy, it's conspiracy. If it's
I
really
don't
a
think it's
disease, it's a
conspiracy,
disease.
but
don't
I
even
do
care.
believe that they're playing on it and just putting everything down to COVID. So I don't think the numbers of COVID are as high as they're making it seem.
It's
You think?
I feel
I feel like
there's
if
something
you've
wrong
got
with
an
them numbers.
underlying health condition and you go
I
into
think
the
they're lying to
hospital,
us now.
About
and-
what?
The figures, because how did we go from cases to now no deaths. So they play the narrative as the way that they want us to go back to a normal life.
No, so what they're trying to basically say is that now it's under control, small. They're controlling
Have
it.
you guys been following the numbers? Because I'm not gonna lie, I've
How?
not been
I
following
stopped
the numbers.
following. I stopped following the numbers because I noticed that when they wanted us to stay inside, they were saying 900 and something deaths happened, 800 and something deaths happened,
Yeah.
900. As soon as I said, okay, yeah, you're allowed to go out now,
It's like
they need
62.
to show like figures
Yeah.
statistically, like actually there's no
Yeah,
deaths,
it's
there's
true.
no reported deaths
How
anywhere,
convenient.
not even in the care homes, not in the hospitals, nowhere. There's no reported deaths, really.
No, but
Yeah,
we're
that's
out.
Do you know?
suspect.
So I
that's
just
what
feel like
leads
they
me to
play
believe,
it to what they want it
do you
to
think
be.
we'll go back into lockdown again?
Probably.
Nah,
Don't you
I think it will be like certain areas. So like, you know how they did in Leicester.
Leicester, yeah.
Yeah, so I feel like if they see that there's cases in a particular area, they'll say, okay, we're locking down this particular area, and then waiting for the cases to drop before we open. I think that's what they might do, but I think it will be hard to control anyway. Like, I don't see how you'll do that.
Yeah. Anyway, we'll wait
Like,
and
we've got
see.
free movement in the UK.
Yeah,
like,
of course, yeah, definitely.
just
Yeah,
be like,
and that's
go
the
to
thing.
the next town.
Funny enough, I spoke to somebody at work the other day, really random. I don't even know why he wanted to come to London. Anyway, this person lived in Leicester. And he was just like, oh, I'm coming to London. I just wanted to come for a job interview. I said, aren't you meant to be isolating for 14 days? And he said, oh, no, but they're lifting it. I said, when? When did they lift it? Because I've been following the news. And I thought to myself, how would we know that
Yeah,
someone
we
came
won't.
from Leicester?
Yeah, we will never know.
I feel like that's the worst thing about this whole thing, like people just not doing what they're supposed to do.
Yeah.
And it's like you're eking it out, you're making it longer than it needs to be.
Yeah.
But then I also think it's the government not giving
Yeah, they're
clear
not being strict.
guidelines.
Yeah, exactly.
Because there was the thing where if you were to go abroad and come back, you need to quarantine for 14 days. Who is checking it? How is it monitored? How do you know that I'm actually staying at home? You can do spot checks where you're just calling random people. But how many thousands of people are travelling in and out?
It's true.
It doesn't
What
make
you're
any
saying is
difference.
true.
So it's just that nobody enforces it, and this is the reason why this goes for everything in the UK. To me, there's no law, there's no rules. They don't have to follow anything.
pick and
Our
choose.
leaders
They
are
pick and
just-
choose. They pick and choose,
Yeah.
and that's the way how people live their lives. If you go to Dubai and they tell you no eating on the train, you cannot go outside. Do you think you'll even see people go to the shop?
No.
No,
Yeah.
because they've got discipline in those
It's
countries.
true.
There's no discipline in the
It's
UK.
true. It's
That's
true.
the problem.
Yeah.
It's so true. I remember, like, I can't remember if I said it on this podcast or whatever, but we were talking about something, and I was just saying, like, in America, the reason why a lot of people don't, because when they don't need to swear on
Oh
anything,
yeah.
or when
think
they
it's
swear on
so
a certain girls, like, oh,
They're not obliged
they
to.
don't
You
they
can
don't
have
respect
it.
the Bible, so when they
Mhm.
swear on it, it's kind of like whatever. Even if I lie right now, it's not a big deal. And I was likening it to, like, you know, when we were in our tribes, in our African countries, they'll say, hold this stick, it's got power.
Yeah.
If you lie,
Yeah.
you will die.
Yeah.
And I just feel like, you know, that's why a lot of people say democracy don't work, because you always like everything's to please everyone,
Yeah.
and you can never please everyone. So,
Can't please
so
everyone.
basically, you end up with no laws, because
Yeah.
someone's always going to complain, like, oh, but what about me? What about these people? What about these?
Yeah.
people? Then by the time you know, it's so diluted
Yeah.
that it doesn't really mean anything.
And that's the
Yeah.
same thing when, even like, without even labouring on about this point too long, but when we first went into lockdown, I remember when they were like, oh, like, people were saying, oh, we need to go into lockdown, we need to go into lockdown. They're now in forced lockdown, and they said, oh, if we see you out, then, you know, you can be arrested, you can get fines, and then...
They
and
said
then-
the
and then-
tankers were
and
coming
then-
for
and then-
us,
but
the
then-
tanks.
Yeah. But
The army,
then
the
remember,
military.
people started complaining, saying, oh, it's too harsh, so I can't go and see my nan. I said, what do you people want?
Yeah.
Do you want to lock down, or you want to go outside?
Yeah.
Which
Yeah.
one? Pick which one you want right now, because they just don't know what they want.
It's true.
We
It's
can't be
true.
pleased. That's what it
They
is.
can't be pleased.
We can't
But
be.
like, all it takes is for everyone to just band as one, just say, okay, right now, let's all do what we're supposed to do, and then hopefully that means the thing will get rid of quicker, because, you know, the cases, either the people will recover, or unfortunately, you know, people
Okay.
might pass away.
Yeah.
But it means that it's not spreading. But people still want to be going out, even
Yeah.
from the beginning,
Yeah, people.
all the way now. People
What
are
is
just
lockdown?
like,
I don't think any, like, there's been people that, what was lockdown? I didn't experience that.
I went to the
Ow,
shopping
ow.
centre, right?
Hmm.
You know, like, they've done
The
their
one-way
best.
system.
They've
Oh,
done their
yeah,
best. They've done the people.
To do
Shaka,
arrows. People are
shaka,
doing this.
shaka.
I was just like, can you not walk in the lane?
It clearly it's marked
These people
up
got arrows for you.
They don't
Yeah.
care.
They still do crisscross.
And so in a way,
crisscross.
that's why I'm kind of happy that they're enforcing this mask thing in all the shops,
Mm.
because I'm just like, there's some people that just don't care.
But even still, like, obviously
I
we were
saw
out
people,
yesterday
yeah.
and they claimed we had to wear the mask if we were not seated at the table, and still.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they said, exactly. No one was wearing it. We had our masks, but as we were walking around.
I feel like they're just doing that because I think they have to show to someone or another that, oh yes, we've got guidelines.
We're being compliant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't do
Anyway.
it for sure, do it through and through.
Yeah, anyway. But anyway.
I'm tired of COVID.
Do you know what? Go on.
So, no,
go on.
go. I was going to say something else.
What
Come
were
on,
you
let's go
gonna
to
say?
change the topic. But
So was I.
No, go on.
So I was gonna say, do you know the one stat that they haven't brought out? Remember at the beginning of COVID, they were gonna say, oh, you know, we're really fearing for people and their mental health during this time. Like they really haven't spoken about
yeah,
like
touched
what
it.
has been the like knock-on impact of lockdown.
Yeah.
Like I feel like it's important for them to share, because all we've been seeing is that, you know, the positives. Okay, we can go out. People are like, yeah, we can go to the pub and everything. But it's one of those things where it's like, okay,
You know, they've
what
been hit
is
hard
actually
by it.
been the impact? And I feel like, why are you not sharing that with us?
Yeah,
What is
especially
going
like
on?
yesterday, I saw Dr. Alex's brother had passed away. Do you know
Dr.
Dr.
Alex?
Alex?
From
Yeah.
Love Island?
Yes, from Love Island.
No.
Dr. Alex's brother passed away.
Oh my God. What,
And
his
he
twin brother?
suffered. No,
They
his
said
younger
his twin-
brother. But
From
they look
COVID?
alike. No, not from COVID. So they said he had been battling with mental health,
Oh.
and he was about to go start doctor school or something.
Oh.
And so, because they've mentioned mental health, I'm like, did he take
There's
his
a-
own
there's
life?
a
They didn't
difference.
specifically say it,
Mm.
but you included that he had been
Yeah,
battling
it's
with
implied.
it. So, yeah. So, of course, there's been a lot of
Crazy.
people that have been affected by it and having random outbreaks or going beyond the outbreaks and actually, you know, taking it. Because for me, or for us, that don't even have mental health problems or issues, it's been hard on us too. So, you can imagine someone that's been told, stay in your house, don't go out, don't do this, how much of a knock-on effect it will have on them as well.
That's crazy.
So, no, they definitely are.
That's really sad.
It's really
It is.
sad.
It's really sad.
Why have I got a tickle, bro?
How?
Do you know? I feel like sometimes.
Jexies.
I feel like I'm fine here at my house. And the moment I come out, I feel like some sort of baby
That's
power.
what you're thinking TV.
Yeah, maybe I'm thinking a bit. Because all of a sudden I'm like,
You can't even clear your throat in peace anymore.
I
this is, I'm even scared.
I think I will sit there now.
Girl, bye. You that hugged me and everything is over with us.
It is.
Together.
Yeah, we'll go
Got it
together.
now.
But anyway, guys, I mean, quarantine has been absolutely crazy in the sense of all the stuff that's been going on with like, where do we even start?
I feel like it is mental health based, most of it.
Kanye. Let's start with Kanye, shall we?
Oh, but even before Kanye.
What was before Kanye?
What else? What else?
Tamar, Kanye,
Britney.
Britney. Did
free
Britney?
Free Britney.
Did Britney have something going on?
No, but they
anyway?
just need to free her.
So there was a hashtag going around here saying Free Britney. Did you hear about this
No.
hashtag?
Because I wasn't on Instagram. Remember?
Oh yeah, you had
I
your
haven't
little break,
been on
your
it.
detox.
So for the longest, remember when she had her public mental health
Yes.
breakdown? Apparently there's a whole backstory to it whereby at some point her kids got taken away from her
Yes,
and
I
her,
remember
and her
that.
dad
Custody.
has their dad has their primary custody.
Yeah.
And you know she's had various partners here and there.
I
that-
thought the husband, Kevin Federline,
Yeah,
had
he
the
has.
prime custody.
That's what I
Yeah,
meant.
he is.
That's what I meant.
Oh.
Sorry, I might have said it
Oh
wrong.
yeah, so the ex-husband.
The
which is
ex-husband.
when she
Yeah,
got
that's
a new
what I
guy.
meant.
Yeah.
And then she's got all these various partners, but in and amongst it, people have been saying, but once since that thing, she had to obviously someone had to take over and help her and whatever.
Yeah, that
and they're
was
saying
her
that
dad.
conservatorship that was
it.
her dad
That was her dad.
has never been lifted.
Yeah.
She's just been under this
She's been under
conservatorship,
it.
and it basically means she doesn't have control of her money. She doesn't make any decisions for herself.
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to be funny. Like I remember when they said it
on law team.
time
She can't choose
ago,
anything.
That was like over what, 15 years ago.
They
or
said
so?
it from time ago, right? And so I didn't think anything of it. But then I went to go and look at this. Well, they started showing
The
her
thread.
Instagram.
Mm.
I saw the thread, and then I started seeing her Instagram. Her behaviour is not normal.
She's
But
not.
she can't leave the house.
The
So
behaviour
she
is not
literally
normal.
walks up and down her balcony, her front room, her bedroom. She's trapped. It's like, you know, like when you cage in a monkey or those animals in the zoos and they literally go back
Yeah.
and forth, back and forth. That's what it reminded me of. Like,
Wow.
she needs to be freed. She's going mental.
But then
Staying at home, locked
part
up.
of me is this. I don't know if she already had mental health issues. Because obviously she had a breakdown that we all saw. And then obviously it's been exacerbated by not being able to have that control. So sometimes I feel like people want to make it out as though, oh, all of a sudden she's got issues. But she had issues.
Yeah.
It's just that
Along
it's not
the
being,
way.
it's being managed
It
in a
wasn't
way that
highlight-
doesn't
yeah.
seem to be helping her.
Yeah.
But then I felt like she was the breadwinner for her family. Remember, Britney Spears didn't grow up rich.
Yeah.
I remember I used to love.
She's
I still love Britney Spears. But anyway, the way how I used to love her.
But that's what happens to these child stars.
Yeah,
When they're
she was a
pregnant.
child star, and again, her mum and her dad really pushed her into the limelight. So I think she was meant to be like a Disney kid alongside
Yeah,
Christina
competition with her,
Aguilera
Christina,
and
exactly. That
Justin
was her.
Timberlake, and then
And Ryan Gosling.
yeah,
And they
See,
even
part
said
of it.
how she sounded a lot like very similar
That's
to
what.
Christina
Did you
Aguilera.
believe that? Because I read
believe
that.
that.
Dude.
Look at how she
was.
sings. Look at her sound.
Apparently, they said that actually she's a really good singer. She used to sing similar to Christina Aguilera. But they, Britney Spears.
no, she didn't.
That's what I said.
No,
And they were
believe
like,
it.
they make sure they said that they
praised
forced her to do that voice.
That voice.
That's what they said.
Anyway, made that successful. So
Regardless.
we know Britney songs more than Christina Aguilera
Well,
songs. So.
me and my sister were making fun of Britney,
Yeah,
Christina
yeah.
Aguilera because she goes whoa whoa. Every song is whoa whoa whoa. Like what is it? Even simple car wash song and the car wash. Whoa, whoa.
Even in that song, this is for my girls all around the world.
I'm tired.
But no, yeah, I actually believe that. Do you know what I think, guys? I actually think, I don't know if it's taking it too deep, but I do believe that some of us, or most of us, actually have some sort of mental health within us. It's just, it needs to take something to trigger it for it to come out of
I
us.
just think mental health is the same as physical health. At the
Yeah,
end of the
exactly.
day,
You
need
need
to
to
look
nurse
after
it.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
everybody will the people get sick, but it's just to varying degrees. Everybody has like obviously their scale of bad health and good health. Most of us
Spectrum.
we will stay on
Right.
this side,
Yeah.
or
We're
even if
very
we have
in the middle.
negative things that negatively impact our mental health, it won't show on the outside because it's mental, so
Yeah.
no one will know.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
only those people that then begin to physically manifest symptoms or do things that you'll be like, oh. But a lot
Yeah.
of people deal with things that nobody
Yeah.
would
Yeah.
ever know.
Yeah.
And lots
Yeah.
of people are functioning. I don't want to say like have mental health issues are functioning ones
Yeah.
in the
Yeah.
sense of that you can go on
They
your
still go back to
day-to-day
normal
life,
day-to-day, yeah.
and nobody knows what happens when you go home.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
I
literally
agree.
nobody knows. Like
Exactly.
you literally can be like talking to the wall,
Yeah.
banging your head,
Yeah.
like cutting your arm. Who
Mhm.
knows?
Yeah, it's so true.
And then you wake up the following morning, you're like, hi,
Yeah,
mommy,
so
blah
true.
blah blah.
Yeah.
Who knows?
It's so true.
Yeah.
It's so
So,
true.
you know, I think that's crazy. But since we're on the topic of mental health, Kanye,
Our
Oh,
brother
God.
Kanye.
brother Kanye.
So
It's a beautiful one.
Who are Kanye's friends, man? Honestly,
Well,
like
Dave
who are
Chappelle.
they? Like, who are
Okay,
the black men
I'm just
in
gonna
his life?
stand up for anyone that is around him, because if he truly has what they've said he has, which is bipolar
I
disorder,
believe he
right? Like,
He
you
has
know,
to.
it's not easy just to say who are these, because he's a person. He can function.
Yeah.
He's
And you
until
can never
he's
force
sectioned,
them.
you can't force him to do anything.
Yes, it's true.
Mm-hmm.
It's true.
So, because Dave Chappelle went there.
And so he seemed
What's
fine.
his name again? The other one, Damon
Oh,
Dash.
Damon Dash, yeah.
Went there.
But
So he has-
Damon Dash, it shouldn't be going to anybody. Damon Dash should go and check his own.
He's also-
his
Yeah, 'cause
phone.
didn't he have a recent outburst as well? So
He's
got to start
always, having an outburst. So
He
Yeah.
cannot send Damon Dash to anybody, please.
But all I'm
I
saying
don't count
is,
that one at
I
all.
don't know if he has friends. I don't know. Like, I'm interested in the friends he has that are not celebrities,
That's
right?
what I
Yeah.
think, yes.
Mm.
But he doesn't seem to have friends. He doesn't seem to have people that talk to him. Like, everybody that speaks about Kanye seems to speak about him from a almost like a subjective point of view, rather than like, oh, like, you know,
Truly
we're
knowing
buddies,
him.
like, I know him, I've known him for this long. Nobody ever speaks about him that way. So when you see other celebrities, like, they're always like, oh, Kanye, like, I love you and everything, but I can't support you in this kind of things. Like, I love your music is dope, you are a genius, but in terms of X, Y, Z, I don't support you.
it's
So
gonna stop,
it's
yeah.
always like from a point of view, like,
I'm gonna love you, but I love you from
respect
afar.
your. I respect your I don't know,
Artistry,
your
your
artistry,
creativity,
exactly, your
your genius,
creativity, your
even.
geniusship, or whatever you want to call it. But I don't know you, you know, so I can't defend you like that. That's how people come across when they speak about him, and I'm just thinking, I only knew Jay-Z to be his friend.
Mm.
Jay-Z and Damon Dash when they were doing the
And
whole
the other guy,
Rockefeller,
what's he
well,
called?
whatever they were doing.
That's
What was it?
the
But not
Fella.
Feller.
Yeah.
Fella.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it-
You're very smart, you know. Don't doubt yourself.
Thank you.
That's what I've been saying to everyone. Don't doubt yourself.
Don't just-
Don't doubt yourself. You could do no things.
Thank you.
It's the But yeah, his friends, I don't know.
Well-
It's like a touchy.
I don't know if he has friends, because I would hope. Let's say I was a celebrity, yeah, and you guys are my friends, right? I feel like you'd be like, even if I was going through something, I wouldn't expect you to go to the papers and be like, well, we know
Never.
Daphne.
Yeah.
So I just kind of feel like if he has real friends, we would never know, because they wouldn't necessarily come out and defend him publicly. They'll just be there in the back.
You think?
I don't know. But I'm just saying. That's what I'm trying to liken it to my if it was
Yeah.
us, like you wouldn't necessarily
You
know
don't
the
run
person's true friends,
Yeah.
unless they make it like. We've never heard $M say anything about Rihanna.
Yeah,
have
Rihanna,
we? We know
true.
she's there,
Yeah.
but she never speaks on her. She never comments on her life at all,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
because it's not her place to do so. She's
Yeah.
her actual friend.
Yeah, that's a good example.
Yeah, that's a good example.
I don't know. What do you guys think about like the statement Kim made? Do you believe in the whole Kardashian curse with all the men that come around?
I just feel like if you say something long enough, it will manifest.
Yeah,
That's
of
how
course,
I feel.
definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I don't know. I feel like with Kim, like, bless her and everything, because I can imagine it. I can't even imagine it being easy at
No, of
all.
course it's
Like, I
definitely
can imagine
very
it being
hard.
so hard. And then, of course, now he wants to he wants to be president. Like,
But
you
he's
know,
been saying that. That's nothing new.
Yeah.
And he did say it in 2020.
Yeah,
so
but
he's
then
doing what he said.
how are they even considering him as a potential running mate anyway?
So one thing I've realized in America, it sounds like anyone can run.
Yeah,
you just have to be a millionaire, basically.
Yeah, and
funding.
you have to do. I think that's what he was trying to do. Get himself on the ballot.
Yeah, you have
and
to
all
get
this
yourself
stuff.
on the ballot.
So
Yeah.
I think that's what he was trying. He was not successful in all.
He wasn't successful in some states.
South
that
Carolina.
he
Was
missed
it
out.
South Carolina?
I don't even know. Like he registered too late or something.
Yeah, but then the one he didn't get
Correct,
voted
okay.
in.
Oh, he didn't get voted. He shouldn't have. It's good. He shouldn't have.
But like, I don't know what's wrong with him. But all I know is this, right? Their youngest child is like 14 months old. Kanye West started exhibiting all these issues more than 2 years ago. So
Yeah.
I guess
It was, well, to me, I thought it was since his mum passed
Yeah.
away. That's when he started.
yeah,
to
but like
have
he
the
started
downward
going
spiral.
proper bad.
Yeah, worse.
as in the first bipolar episode that
Was
we
what
saw
I-
publicly was a while ago now.
Mm.
So sometimes I just wonder, like, what is the
Actually,
motivation?
what was his first bipolar?
To me, I would say it's
think
the whole Taylor Swift thing when he came up on the
Yeah,
stage
that
and
was-
said
that was-
Beyonce should
that
have
was
because that
challenging.
was wild.
that
I
was
thought,
wild.
Huh?
Was that before the Sway interview, or after the Sway
Do
interview?
you know what he's? You know what? Now
Because-
that you mention, he's done better.
Because
Yeah,
he's done
he
better.
has.
Because actually, I was thinking about the Sway interview was
I think
years
the
ago.
Sway interview might have been before it, you know.
And then
Sway-
there was
and
the
that was crazy.
And then there was the MT. No, it was that telephone thing where they was raising money, and he goes, George Pierce doesn't care about black people.
yeah,
Oh, yeah,
yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
That,
yeah.
that was afterwards.
Yeah.
And
And his face was so straight.
Yeah. George Bush doesn't care about black people. Everyone's
Yeah.
like, what the
Yeah.
heck is this guy talking
But then the thing about I think the polarizing thing, not even trying to be funny, is that a lot of people often say he says things that are true, So it's weird because he says them so matter of fact and without any kind of political correctness. It looks like you, and naturally we're looking at him like, we're moving mad.
Yeah.
But actually, is there truth to what he's saying? Because when he said that whole George Bush thing, as out there as it might have seemed, it's kind of like, fair enough.
So I think he had some good
but the
points to
Taylor
make.
Swift
It's
thing,
just how he does
that
it.
was his
how he goes about
exactly.
It's how he goes about it,
Which
exactly.
is makes it a bit crazy.
And it's the delivery. It's like,
Yeah.
and it's always like, where did this come from?
it. Yeah, the random
It's just
outburst.
it's just a random outburst. It's like, yes, okay, we all think, we all probably thought that actually Beyonce deserved that because she had a banging album. But when somebody's giving their speech, you can just sit there and be like, yeah, her husband didn't even do that.
No,
And he's sitting beside her, well, you came and you went, and now look at them, they don't even talk
Exactly.
to you.
So was it even worth it?
Yeah.
Is it worth it? Would you done all of that to do what? But no, I just honestly, I really hope he gets better. I felt like he was on the up and up, you know, with the Sunday service. I felt like, you know, it was a positive outlet for him, and you know, he was just trying to get his mind right. And then obviously to see this again, and it was really sad, you know, when people were circulating it like oh my God, Kanye's mad. Like when I saw it, I didn't look at it as like ha ha ha, it's
like a
funny.
cry for help.
I looked at it like, oh my God, like this is terrible. Like this is a man, and not even on the whole race thing, but this is a black man. Black men, I believe, suffer from mental health illness.
And you know, like
very
he's
much,
someone
and
that
they don't
speaks
talk
much
about
as well. So
Exactly.
for him
He's
to
a man
talk,
of few
it's
words.
exactly. So for him to talk, it's like, no, this is deeper. Let's like literally delve into it and really find out what's going on. I definitely think, like, you know how you asked who are his friends. I think he does need the right support system and the right people around him.
Yeah,
I'm not going to knock what the Kardashians are doing for him, but are they doing enough?
I don't know what
we
the
will
Kardashians,
never know.
I don't know what the Kardashians are doing, to be fair. And at the end of the day, I mean, I don't think it's anyone's fault per se. But then I think the only thing in the whole situation is that I don't think Kim should have spoken on it.
So
I felt like she needed to say something because
of her image.
I feel like she was
It's
standing
her
up for
image.
herself and her family.
Yeah, of course.
Because it came across
It's
very
only because
defensive.
he said, I've been wanting a divorce. Never will any of my kids do this Playboy. So he, in a way, he's sending for her, and that's supposed to be your wife. Like,
But
don't do that.
I feel like
But then, is she saying that is all in the name of that he's bipolar and he
Yeah.
says things that
Yeah.
he doesn't
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
Then you should then, as his wife, you should probably be like, okay, I'm not going to say nothing because I know he doesn't mean that.
Yeah.
I don't know. She could have just taken that stance,
it's
maybe.
what her
That's
image-
what I agree.
because
I think-
you know the Kardashians. It's a brand, like
Yeah.
so.
I feel someone likened it to Beyonce.
Oh yeah, it was me. I
Oh,
thought so.
yeah.
The conversation.
Yeah.
What with Solange?
Yeah.
yeah.
And it was like
Don't speak on
basically that whole situation happened. We literally saw the video. We've not heard one to
One-
this
Not even-
day. So we've not heard
Everything.
because
No.
sometimes you're just like I'm not gonna say
I'm
nothing.
I'm not addressing it, and that's that. But she
Yeah.
she feels the need that she has to address everything.
Yeah.
Like there's no amount of pressure that can get to her where she's just like, I'm just gonna stay silent. Like you don't have to address everything.
And I think that's funny though actually because now I deep it, Beyonce did address it, but she just addressed it in
In
her
an album,
music.
yeah.
But I feel like because
But even that, we still had to
even know
piece the
what-
jigsaw
Yeah,
pieces
yeah, yeah.
together to
But even
figure it
still, I
out.
still don't know.
Exactly.
yeah, we still don't know.
So
But I
we're
think
still
Kim
like,
has no other. She's not creative. If she doesn't say anything, we'll still never know. Like, but I feel like there's a time and a place, and she came out, and it came across to me anyway as covering my own back. Like
Yeah.
I need to say what I need to say, so people don't. Because people are coming for her, going, "Where's Kim in all of this? Where's Kim? Where's Kim? Where's Kim?" So I almost felt like it was like here I am, and this is what I've got to
This is what
say
I've got
about
to say,
it.
exactly.
She spoke to her publicist and whoever else, and they probably pieced it together for her and said, "This is what you need to say.
Yeah.
This is how to go about
I
it."
actually screenshotted it, and I was just like, I just thought to myself, I read it again, and I just thought,
But what her statement?
yeah.
Can you read it?
Oh, so she said,
It's one long
as-
statement.
yeah, I'll quickly read it. As many of you know, Kanye has bipolar disorder. As many of you know, you know. Okay, anyway. Anyone who has this or a loved one in their life who does knows how incredibly complicated and painful it is to understand. I've never spoken publicly about how this has affected us at home because I'm very protective of our children and Kanye's right to privacy
So still
when it
don't
comes to
speak
his
on it.
health. But today I feel like I should comment on it because of the stigma and misconceptions about mental health. So I don't know if she was
So now
for
she's
him
trying
or
to be an
against him.
advocate for.
Yeah, so it's like she was
basically.
for him and against him. Those that don't understand mental illness or even compulsive behaviour know that the family is powerless unless the member is a minor. People are unaware or far removed from this experience can be judgmental and not understand that the individuals themselves have to engage in the process of getting help no matter how hard family and friends try. So basically, Kanye don't want to get help. More or less what she's saying. I understand Kanye is subject to criticism because he is a public figure and calls strong opinions and emotions. He is a brilliant but complicated person who, on top of the pressures of being an artist and a black man who experienced the painful loss of his mother and has to deal with depression and isolation that is heightened by his bipolar disorder. Those who are close with Kanye know his heart and understand his words sometimes do not align with his intentions. Living with bipolar disorder does not diminish or invalidate his dreams and his creative ideas, no matter how big or unattainable they may feel to some. That is part of his genius, and we have all witnessed many of these big dreams
I
have
feel
come
like she's
true.
selling a product. Like,
Do you know what? I'm not gonna. Now that you read it again, I think it's a well put together.
It's a
statement.
well put together.
Like, I'm not even gonna like. At
She
the end of
didn't
the
write
day,
that. Someone had to do
well,
that for
even if
her.
she did or even if she didn't, at the end of the day, she put it out and it's under her own. It's supposed to be representative of her perspective and her views. So whether she wrote it herself, it's her perspective and she believes in it clearly.
Yeah.
But I feel like I don't know what it's like. Like I'm just gonna put like I don't know anybody with bipolar disorder that I know of, and I can only imagine if if they're literally a compulsive person, they can pick up one day and literally say, I want to do this, and they'll go off and do it without thinking about it. Then could you imagine trying to talk that person down and just be
of course.
like, I don't know what it's like. Do you get what I mean? So I actually think I empathize with her, like I really do, because all up until now, she's right, she hasn't said nothing. She's trying to like have their family. Let's be honest, Kim is not exactly the one that likes to stick in marriage.
But
She's
then-
stuck with him.
She shouldn't continue having children then.
But that's what I was going to say,
Like,
but-
why are you adding to the pressure of it?
Because everybody's got good and bad. So I think, like I don't know.
I
don't
he
know.
wanted just as many
I
kids as
don't know whether the good times outweigh the bad for them. Do you know what I mean? Like I don't know. Like if this is just because it's so public, it looks like oh my god.
everything's heightened.
Yeah.
now.
Whereas actually, you know, this is very much 5% of the time. Actually, the 95% of the time, he could be great,
Yeah.
and they get along with their life as just normal people having their life. They got bare money. They're having
No
their children.
issues.
They're doing family. No issues. Great. But the 5% is what everybody will remember, and everybody will focus on. Oh my gosh, remember when Kanye did this? Oh my gosh, remember when Kanye did this?
Yeah.
And that's why I think social media is very dangerous, because I was saying this to someone actually. Someone was like, oh, people are being so mean about Kanye, and I'm like, no, they're not. It's just that it's all on social media, because the majority of us, the people I talk to, don't say nothing negative about Kanye West.
Yeah.
But it's just because you go on social media, it seems
know
like,
everything.
oh my gosh,
Everyone's
it's a
talking
bubble.
about it.
Yeah.
It looks like, oh my gosh, everyone's so
And
mean,
the
and
papers,
it's like,
everything. Yeah.
no, that does not represent the majority. Actually, if you look on the Shade Room, for example, it's like
Send your prayers.
20 million people or something.
Yeah.
Let's just say those are the people where 20 million people. There's 7 billion people in this world. Trust me,
Yeah.
not everybody's thinking about Kanye.
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it's not representative of everyone.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes we get so caught up in the fact that, oh my gosh, everybody's being so negative and da-da-da-da-da.
Yeah.
It's like, no, actually, most of us probably don't know what's going on. We don't care.
Yeah, exactly.
But actually, we're empathetic. And I think
Yeah,
I just
definitely.
empathize with them.
I
But
do. I definitely do. I just
I
really
also
want him
feel
to
like-
get the help. Like,
Yeah.
I
There's a lot
hope
of
he
them, like-
gets the realization, as in Kim's statement, like you can't force anyone to do anything.
Yeah, you
It's
can't.
like an alcoholic. An alcoholic doesn't know that they need to go to
Not even
AA
just that. If you
until.
tell me, Danielle, go to the kitchen. If I don't want to go, I'm not going. So we're fully grown adults. We don't need to do.
do you know what's hard
whatever
for me
we're
to
told
get
do.
my head around? That he has to live with a condition. Because I think part of me is like a bit naive. Because sometimes you want the person to be healed.
Yeah.
You want them to be like
Just get better.
even when we first became aware of this side of him, we're like, oh, he'll get better, like he'll go back to normal. Everyone was like, oh, the old Kanye, like we want the old Kanye. Do you know what I mean? So you always have this thing, like I know I do. That it's like, oh, eventually he'll go through what he's going through, but it just is very clear that this is something like it's a chemical
cycle, yeah.
issue in this brain that is pretty much something he has to live with. And I think for me, that's the toughest thing. Like if you're someone you love, you're literally
It's a
looking at them and you're
constant
like.
battle.
Just
Yeah.
you're just like, can we just go back to how it used to be?
Yeah.
And I think that's for me anyway. Like, what's so sad about it? Because you're like, would he ever be the old Kanye? Probably not.
But maybe he shouldn't be the old Kanye
Maybe
because
not.
we
Maybe
don't
that
know
wasn't
what he
working.
would have suppressed,
Yeah.
being that way. I think obviously his mum had a big, a major part to it, but I think there must have been other things. I
Along
think
the way.
even the breakdown of his relationship with Jay-Z would play a massive part.
course.
Because sometimes you can break up with like a friend and you can feel
doesn't
so
have to
hurt
be-
from it.
yeah.
It doesn't have to be an intimate
I
partner.
agree.
But you can be so hurt, like, oh my goodness. And then it's like that person's just gone on with their life and you see it, that they've just gone on with their life and it's kind of like, what
It's
about
painful.
me? Yeah, you're like, what about me?
And then you also question, like, you feel misunderstood because you're like, why have you decided to not be my friend?
Yeah,
Yeah.
What
like,
have
you
I
know me,
done?
exactly.
And then you question yourself. And
Yeah.
even that alone, that constant going
The
over,
second
guessing.
it'll just
It
it'll
is.
turn you like,
Yeah.
what the hell?
I
Like,
always say your
100%.
mind is a very dangerous place
Yeah.
to stay in. Like
Yeah.
the thoughts that you can accumulate in there and the things that you would tell yourself and you'll start to believe. It's very dangerous. So like you said, he's a man of very few words. He's probably battling with himself constantly in his mind, and this is what we're now beginning to see.
It's easy
So,
for us
yeah.
to focus on the negative things, but like I think let's appreciate Kanye because Kanye's
I still
done
love him.
bits.
Yeah, he's
like
great.
he's done bits, not
I
just his
mean-
music, his fashion, his footwear,
Mm.
his that everyone
everything.
like what did you just say? Sunday service. Like
Yeah.
let's be
Oh,
honest,
I
everything
love
that
Sunday
Kanye
service.
touches,
That's the
it's
gold.
it's gold. Though. The guy like he does bits.
No, yeah.
Literally, I was listening to Sunday service when I was working. I think I sent it to you guys in the group or something, and I just thought, oh my god, it's just
Yeah, he's a
beautiful. I literally just
Yeah.
could not believe how beautiful it
Yeah.
was. And where was that? Why are you crying?
Because it's
He didn't tell us that bit.
like literally,
just so beautiful.
was it Hallelujah?
Yeah, I think it was that.
I don't even know.
Don't-
I,
it was
I,
what she
I, I
said.
think
I
I just
can't
sent a
remember.
snippet of it, but I watched the whole
The whole
1 hour
shot.
I think
split.
it's
sent it.
Oh.
No, I didn't send it.
Maybe
I
I
definitely didn't
watched
say
the
1.5
whole thing,
hours, but
yeah.
yeah.
You're just watching it like
You're like, how?
You're in awe of it.
And even then, yeah, he's not even singing. He's just jumping
Yeah,
up and
that's like
down.
Kanye makes me laugh,
you know
though.
what? Yeah. But when he does that, I still think to myself, he's still not normal. Like, even the way he's reacting to it. But have you ever seen like honestly, have you ever seen like somebody that's considered mad worship God before?
no.
That's how they behave. I've
No,
seen a person who's mad, like, and they were deemed mad, like in a mental health hospital, and I saw them worship God, and that's exactly how they were. So when I watched him, I thought to myself,
Makes sense.
he's still such a creative genius, where he's orchestrated this whole thing together in terms of the sound, everything. He's put it all together. And this is how he responds to it.
Yeah.
Because he couldn't even he can't even sing the songs with them.
Yeah.
He's just literally like
Like the Duracell bunny.
and he's like, it's like he's listening to like all the instruments in his
Yeah.
mind, and he can hear them. It's like, okay,
Like
right, the
creative
cymbals should
genius.
do that now,
Yeah.
and now the voices and the altos
Yeah.
should do this, and now the
Yeah.
sopranos, and you can see how he's like, you're almost
all
just seeing his
together.
mind work
Yeah.
when he's doing the Sunday service, and I just thought, God,
But they
please.
always there's a common saying like
Making those kind
like
of
to be
things.
a genius you have to be on the brink of insanity. Like it's just the two
Oh,
go.
nice.
There's a thin
Hand in
line.
hand almost.
There's a thin line between
they
the
go
two.
hand in hand. Yeah.
There's a thin line between it,
Mm.
and I just feel like you have to accept the good with the bad. Like you can't. It's like we wouldn't get Sunday service if we didn't have this
yeah,
person.
yeah,
Mm.
it's true, it's
We
true,
wouldn't get it because that's just
it's true.
it's just.
Look how many
But then
gospel
I was about
artists
to
there
get
are.
so deep. Yeah, I was gonna say right. So we all have this perception in society of what normal is. Yeah.
Which we're not normal.
No, like it sounds silly because when you said somebody that's considered mad worshipping God, right? And it's like we expect everyone to fit in this square and just kind of say, okay, this is what is deemed right and
Yeah.
normal and
Yeah.
fit. But actually, like, what about everybody that doesn't quite fit? What about the anomalies? Who's to
Who
say
said
they're
not
less than?
Yeah.
Like they're not less than. Like
Exactly.
actually, we have to take whatever they're good that we're not familiar with or we don't quite understand and say, okay, first of all, God loves them.
Yeah.
But
And that is
secondly, it's one of
important.
them, we're missing out something maybe because maybe they made their mind or we just can't accept how it's coming across to us because it looks crazy.
Yeah.
What if more of us were to be more outspoken?
Yeah.
What if more of us was to chase our goals and the dreams that we have deep inside with us and not have any hesitation and just say, I'm doing that, I'm going for it. You know, we tell our children, you can be anything that you wanted to be. The moment your child goes, okay, I'm going. Hey, please,
You're not going
Yeah.
anywhere.
sit down.
Yeah.
You're acting wild. Where do you think you're going? Do you know what I mean? And
Yeah,
that's
no.
you know,
That's
exactly
we
what
just
happened.
want to remain normal.
normal.
No
It's
one
like
wants
you
to step out
suppress
of that
people. You
box.
encourage them
Yeah.
to do abnormal things or
And
extraordinary things.
Yeah.
But then the moment they do it, you try and bring them back to ordinary things.
And
You're
who
like,
defines
no.
what normal is?
Who does?
Yeah.
Who defines
It's
it?
really crazy.
Because what's normal to you is not normal to
To
me.
another
And
person.
I always, whenever I think about normal, I always say, as Africans, we eat like our solid food with our hands.
Yeah.
Somebody will see that and be like, that is so animalistic.
Yeah. Yeah.
Why are you eating a sauce that drips everywhere with your hands?
Yeah.
Like for them, they wouldn't be able to understand that. And it's just something so simple like that, where it's something that we do on a norm.
It's so funny you say that because I don't know if you guys know Bozoma St. John. She's the global marketing officer now for Netflix.
Oh
Okay.
yes,
Yeah.
I saw her. Yes,
And
that
I
was
was
a big
listening to
deal
one
actually.
of her like her podcast videos, whatever, and she was talking about how when she was growing up, her mum would invite, like, you know, in America they'll be like, oh, your friends can come over, and then she was like, oh, her friends will come, and they'll and she was like, she usually will go to their house and their parents will order them pizza or whatever. And
Did
they'll
you see
eat
my
it.
Instagram story or something? Because I said this.
What?
No, I feel like I know what you're going to say. But
Oh,
I said
I
something
don't
like
know.
this on my Instagram story when I was making something. But anyway,
Okay.
sorry.
No, that's okay. Yeah, she was like, she was like, they would come to her house, and her mum would just be like, okay, I've made the fufu, and the soup, and she'll eat it.
Yeah.
And then she'll be complaining, like, why can't we just order pizza or
Yeah.
whatever? And her mum will like, no,
Yeah,
this
because
is what we
that's
eat. When you
yeah.
go to their house, you eat what they eat. So
That is
they
so
come there.
true, facts.
And it's funny because, like, you know, and she was out, then you just said that, it made me think, like, before pizza became commercial or whatever, could you imagine taking pizza to some African person? They
Yeah,
go,
I
we
think
take this
so.
slice
And
we start buying it.
Yeah.
You can't bite it.
It's like, that's weird.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, you're right. Who determines
What normal
what is normal? We just need to all be more accepting of our differences.
Having a moment, no, Daphne?
But it sounds so super cliche, right?
No, no.
But it's true. It's true.
It really is
does.
true. It really is true. But yeah, Tamar Braxton.
Oh, she's another one. She was. This
That
her
came
one.
out of nowhere, though.
It wasn't.
For me,
I don't think
felt like
that
I
was a long
blindsided.
time coming.
Do you think?
I thought it was a long. I mean, I
I
don't.
was
I
shocked.
think.
I didn't think she would take it that far.
I thought Tamar had some like mental instabilities, but I didn't think that it was like, okay, potential. I'm going to take my life.
I didn't think she'd take it that
I
far.
didn't think it was going to
Like,
be
we
at
know
that
she's
stage.
unstable.
People have taken their lives for lesser things.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
So I just feel like you never know
It's
what
true,
someone's
yeah,
breaking
it's
point
true.
is.
Yeah,
It's
it's
true.
true.
It's true, but I saw like one statistic that said when women say they're gonna take their lives, they never really like try and take it properly. So it's like a cry for help, or they'll down the pills and say, "Mom, guess what I've just done? Come to help me." Da, 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 da. But for a man who's gonna take his life, they just the thought comes into their head, they've planned it out and they execute it. That's it. Like there's no thinking behind it or whatever. They just do it. So I don't know. Do you think she was doing it as like, okay, this is a cry for help, or she really wanted to go all the way? And
I don't know. 'Cause I don't know what she was crying out
we
for
don't
help
even really
for,
know,
to be
like,
honest. I don't
well,
even
she
know.
on her Twitter she claims she's a slave.
Oh,
she
to
can't make her
her
own
to
music,
her
she can't
her
do-
network or
Yeah.
We
the network.
or something.
Yeah.
TV, yeah.
But then she
And how
always
her
wanted
family
to
even
be
get
famous.
paid, like,
And you know what? You know the funny thing is, yeah, you know with Tamar, I love her and I really like Tamar, but then I think that although she's a grown woman, I think the immaturity comes through because I remember like when they were when they used to sing backup for Toni Braxton. Toni she used to be like, I don't want to be no doo-wop bop bop girl. I don't want to be that. I don't mean no backup singer. I don't want to be like she was that.
Yeah, I remember
And
that.
Toni Braxton used to always say, I'm trying to I'm trying to shelter you guys from this industry that you just don't fully get. Like the only thing you guys get is that you've been dropped from a record label, but you don't really understand the dark side of it.
Yeah.
And that's what she was always trying to explain to them. And Tamar was always like, oh, like basically Tamar wanted to be a star.
Yeah.
Like that was it. She just wanted to be a star. She wanted to be a celebrity, and then she got those things.
I
She
know.
got what she wanted. She got the real. She got her own show, her spin-off with Tamar and Vince. She got the baby that she wanted. She was living this glamorous, fabulous life that everybody thought she had. She had all of those things. Okay, so now what? You've achieved those things. Now what? Do you understand? And then actually, the reality of it is that actually I'm now surrounded by people who are not really my friends, and people that just tend to leech off me and
Yeah.
everything. And then actually the breakdown of my marriage happens because almost
And
I
it's
get
globalized,
too
like
much of an
everyone can
ego in the midst of it. I break up with my sisters. I fall out with my sisters and my mum and my dad.
And
all
the
of these
real,
things are breaking
some
up.
of your
Exactly.
friends.
Then I start losing jobs and endorsements and whatnot. My music is not selling as much. So everything happened so quickly for her. So we didn't know her until all of a sudden we knew her, and then all of a sudden she lost it. And then she lost it. What the heck is that? And then she lost it all so quickly at the same time, if you think about it.
Yeah.
I think it's just probably an accumulation of all of those things.
Yeah.
You know,
I feel like
really
what
knowing
people
how to
don't
deal
know,
with it.
well, not I was gonna say people. I think sometimes what we don't always acknowledge is that like the way you grow up and your foundations like have such an impact on who you turn out to be as an adult. And I feel like I don't know obviously how they grow up, but one thing I know obviously is that she's the youngest.
Yeah.
So I don't know, because from what I've seen when I'm watching Braxton Tamar Values, Braxton Tamar Values, Braxton
Tamar Value, wonderful.
Braxton Tamar Values, is that she's got that victim mentality. You're not listening. Oh my gosh, I'm so misunderstood. You never get what I'm trying to say. Like it's constant, and I don't know if it's because if it's a younger thing where you always kind of are told like just follow,
It's like-
like just
brush to
do
the
what you're
side.
told. You're just the youngest. You're the youngest. You're the youngest. You don't know. You don't know. You don't understand. You don't
understand.
understand. And obviously, like their parents got divorced and everything. I don't know what happened in their family, whatever. But it just seems like she's got this victim mentality that like, oh my gosh, nobody ever understands. I'm so misunderstood. No one gets me. I'm always victimized. When I talk about things, I'm always told that I'm wrong. Like
I'm
she
being
all
dramatic.
constantly.
Yeah, she always
It's
says
never
that.
her fault.
It's never
It's never her fault.
And
Like,
already that's an issue.
yeah,
If you
it's
can't
never
hold your
her
hands
fault.
up. Mm.
And I think, you know, one of the challenges that I noticed about her is that she never really has put her own happiness as her responsibility. Like, and I think that's
Yeah.
always an issue. Like, when a lot of people, they put their happiness on other
other
people,
people, yeah.
on things, homes,
Oh,
marriage,
somebody's
cars,
connection.
whatever. And
Yeah.
then when all those things are gone, they're left with nothing.
Yeah.
Because they're just like,
And they
oh,
don't know
They
what
were
to
placing their
Yeah.
happiness in things. And I
Yeah.
always say to people, like, regardless, if you're going to have a breakdown in marriage, even if you don't have money, you should always just have joy and peace within yourself. You shouldn't seek that from anything
Yeah.
or
Someone's
anybody else.
validation.
It's very unfair.
Yeah.
It's very unfair.
to put that whole responsibility
It's too
on
much
someone else to
expectation.
make you happy.
Yeah.
To make you
What?
happy. Why? Exactly. Make yourself happy.
Mhm.
Yeah. That's just that I was having that conversation just the other day that a lot of people, and that's why people lose their minds
Yeah.
very quickly. It's because it's like, no, you disappointed me.
Mm.
I put my hope and my trust and my almost like my
My
happiness and
everything,
yeah.
I put everything in you, and then now you've disappointed me. So now I can't be happy. And that they do that kind of
Yeah,
mindset,
victim,
or they have
yeah.
that kind of victim. Exactly,
Mm.
they victimize themselves that way. But boy,
So, I just
I
hope
don't
she's
know.
alright because
Yeah.
now they're trying to villainize the boyfriend.
David, what's his name? At first,
I don't know.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't know. But I don't know if it's true. But they
Who is
again,
they though? Is it her family? that are trying to
they're not
do that?
saying who. They're saying the
from
family.
Partly the family.
Yeah, they said the family.
But when she was living her best life in Nigeria, they never thought it was an issue.
And
then?
Tawanda went with them, and Tawanda's boyfriend went as
Oh,
well.
is it?
Yeah.
They were there. I didn't see
They
them.
went.
Oh wow.
Yeah, they went.
Yeah.
I didn't see them.
But then, if you they show the trailer, so Tamer's got a new reality TV show come. So Tamer's got a show at the moment called something about the carts or something like that.
Yeah, some weird thing. Where
Yeah,
they've got some.
when they got like some hairdresser
Yeah.
thing, and now she's gonna have her own actual show, and David's on it.
Oh,
And
wow.
they were saying that how I saw a trailer of it, and David comes across very controlling, and very like, and they have arguments, and there's a scene where it seems like there's like some sort of domestic issue.
I read about that.
Where they go in the room and she's like, David, stop! No, David,
Yeah.
stop it!
And
no!
apparently the
And then the
producer's
producer's
like-
like, we've got to go in.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, what? Are you insinuating that he beats her or
Basically.
something? Like, what is going on here?
Basically.
But they said that about Vince as well.
Well, her mum said it about Vince.
Yeah, they said it about
She
Vince as
said- Her mum said it, saying the only thing I will say is don't put your hands on my daughter again. I was just like, oh wow. But then she denied it.
Yeah.
She denied it herself.
But and before Vince, didn't she say she was in an abusive relationship?
Yeah.
So maybe she just goes for the wrong people.
I don't know, but like one thing about Tamar, we all know she does the most.
Yeah.
She
she's
does
very
She does the
dramatic
most.
and,
So
like,
not saying that that's got anything to do with any domestic violence, but she herself doesn't do herself any favors in terms of how she's perceived because she goes on mad like.
But then I
She
really
shouts
think
all the
she's
time.
she shouts all the time. But I think, you know, when people say like, oh, daddy issues, I think she really does
Yes,
have
she
that.
does.
I think all of them have real deep rooted daddy issues.
I
I
think
think
we
the
all
one
have
man that
issues.
they first loved really
Hurt them.
disappointed them in a way that would never ever, it would never change because he's still with the woman that he cheated on their mum with. Like he's married to this woman
But
that
that's
they
why
thought, oh,
I
it's just
say
going to be a
black
phase.
people, like therapy it shouldn't have that big stigma around it.
Yeah.
Like if you're hurting or there's something that you find difficult to deal with, go and speak to someone about it. Like just, even if they don't say enough, just get it off your chest, and already that is a big thing for you to do. Like just get it off your chest, speak about it, and then try to move forward. But you know, like in the homes, you're just like, no, we don't go and speak to outside people, deal with it yourself. Or like we just keep a lot of things in. Like I feel like there's a lot of things that I need to deal with from my past.
I'm about that.
Yeah,
therapy.
like,
I would go therapy
listen,
right now.
I would
like.
go for it, yeah.
It doesn't just have to be couples therapy. Go therapy for yourself and deal with the demons that you're battling with.
That
within
you're now
you.
bringing into your relationship.
Yeah, because the change will never come. Like it will never happen unless you have dealt with the things that are causing the problems now. So I don't know. Like I don't know if they've ever done therapy.
They have. They've
But
done
as a group,
family
as
ther-
sisters,
they've
yeah,
done, they
go by
have.
yourself.
They've done family
They've
therapy
done every
with
therapy.
Iyanla. They've done family therapy with TD Jakes.
Even
And
Iyanla,
TJ,
it's
and
like-
you know the thing, yeah, you know what I noticed? I said the root of it, to me personally, is from their mum. The way how the mum handled it, she was so defensive. And I
What
thought,
the therapy?
I remember
Yes.
that.
And I
So
got-
I didn't watch the
Sam
show.
Timmer was
so-
literally crying at one
Temma
point.
was
Like
crying,
and the mum wouldn't acknowledge
but her
her.
mum, her mum was pacifying Tamar, saying, "Oh, don't worry." And Ayana was like, "No, like you are the problem." And I always said, "Miss E, you had the problem."
Do you know I hate that song so much? It's the
I
worst
actually
song.
didn't watch the show.
Impressions. And then someone was like, Tamar wrote that song. I said,
Yeah, Tamar wrote the song. Yeah.
It makes
It
sense.
sounds like her voice. Like, Anyway, Lord help her. Lord help her.
Yeah, well, it's very clear, like, us as a people, we just need to try and make sure we are good from a mental health perspective.
Checking on your strong friend.
Yeah.
Let's just say that. Like, even if you think they're doing well or doing fine, it doesn't
But we all have
cost
to be
to check in.
We all, I agree with 100%, checking on your friends, all of your friends, but we all need to take accountability for ourselves. And where we see that anything in our behavior, even if you're not certain is not quite right, or you're seeing that, look, this is not necessarily a good thing that I'm doing, or I'm handling this in a way that is concerning, go and seek help.
Yeah.
Because I think one thing I've realized is that your friends with the best of intentions will not always be able to give you the support you need.
Yeah.
I think sometimes we put too much, that's what I'm saying, you put all this burden on other people
Responsibility.
to kind of give you what you need. Like, you know, I've had many situations where you may say something that is very deep rooted and sensitive, you express it, and actually you don't get a response that you need. And actually that can be more damaging, because actually that person can dismiss what you're saying, they can tell you what you're feeling is normal, or they can kind of give you some advice that is, you know, not good or helpful.
And a lot of the time,
So-
people give advice that they won't even take themselves.
Yeah, so I
anyway,
feel like
so.
seek professional help if you can, if you have access to it, or at the very least just engage in talking therapy with somebody you can trust. I think sometimes just speaking it out, you yourself will start to, when you start speaking, you'll be like, yeah, this doesn't quite,
It's not
it's not adding up, even just hearing it out loud.
And just another thing quickly, like, you know, when you were saying about sometimes you can tell your friends something or your family something, I feel like they give you the advice not because that they are trying to shut you up or anything, but they don't really know what to say. But they feel like they need to say something. They need to say something to be like, okay, I need to say something to make you potentially feel better, or to put you at ease. But it's not necessarily the right thing.
No, I agree.
And that's it. And that's why I always say, when I hear stuff like that, I always think of, like, I'm going to go to a Bible scripture, Psalm 1, where it says, like, not to seek counsel from the ungodly. And what that actually means is that it's not saying that you're seeking counsel from someone that's not a Christian. You're just seeking counsel from someone who is not, he's not giving you a word that you need that is in alignment with the word of God for your life in that moment and in that particular time. So they're saying something, and they might be saying the right thing, but it's not for you at that time. But yeah, to sit on that note, what Daphne said, go and seek some advice from somebody else. But
It's a word.
There's actually
It's
all
been
came out
very-
in
there's
quarantine,
a
but-
not a Black Lives Matter thing, but there's a therapy counsellor or someone who's doing free sessions at the moment. So we'll plug that in about somewhere.
See the link.
And on that note,
thanks for listening. It's been real. Peace
what
out.
is chicka 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 chicka
I don't
chicka?
know. It's
I ain't got my necklace on today, but
For listening to another episode of
And on that note, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, comment, tell a friend to tell a friend, your aunties, your uncles, your sisters, and the whole shambaz. Thank you.
Bye.